We're going to continue our bird's eye view of the city, and today we're going to put the bottoms of our building and we're going to put the windows on. This is a part that's going to take some time. You will most likely need to pause and rewind this video. It's okay. You might need to erase and move some things around too, which is fine. But remember, I used this to draw this circle. So if you use something to draw a circle, you're going to want to use that again. So go ahead and find it. When I get to that, I'm going to leave that right there. When I get to it, I'll show you how to use it. All right. So just like the house that we did, we have to line up our ruler and slide it to do the bottoms of the building. So I'm going to start with this building right here. I'm going to line up my ruler with the side. I'm going to slide it down, and then I'm going to draw this line right here. So this is the top and the bottom of my building. I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm going to line up my ruler. I get it straight on here. I'm going to slide it down until I find that line that I just drew, which is right here. Now I'm going to draw this line across. So now that's the bottom of the building, and these lines are parallel and these lines are parallel. Now you can erase the bottom of these lines because now we have the bottom of our building. So you can take these lines out and you can now see what the bottom of the building is. So there's one building. So now we're going to keep doing this for all of our buildings. In this building right behind it, I don't want it to be a short building. I want it to be a tall building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this line for the bottom. So I'm going to line up my ruler here. I'm going to do it this way so you can see a little better. I'm going to line up my ruler here, and I'm going to slide it down till it goes behind this building here. I'm going to draw this line. And now the other side of that building is hidden. This side right here is hidden, and this side here is hidden. But this is the bottom of this building right here. So I'm just going to keep working my way around, and I'm going to do the bottoms of all the buildings. And don't erase the wrong line. If you want to wait to erase these lines until after, you can. I want this building to be tall, so I'm going to leave it here. So then I'm going to keep working my way around again. I'll line it up here and slide it down and do this line right here. I need that to come over just a little bit more. I'm going to line it up here and slide it. Remember, those lines have to meet. You have to make those corners. You have to make those right angles. Remember, the right angles are really important. So then you can erase this line right here and this line that comes right here. So now I'm going to show you how to do this circle building, and you might have to go back and add some more marks to the bottoms of these buildings if they kind of get off center. If you erase part of your line, you can go back and just add a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to do the bottom of a circle building. It's the same thing as lining up your ruler. I line up what I used, I slide it down, and I draw that on there. So that gives me that kind of shape at the bottom. It's a little bit easier to do. So now I'm going to put this building right here, line it up, I'm going to slide it down, put it right here, same thing here. Line it up on the side, slide it over, and add this line right here. So that gives me the bottom of that building. So I can erase these lines right here. Just keep working all the way around. And see, I got these lines off, so I got to do that again. That happens. Sometimes you think you can see that line, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to do that line again. And that time it's right, but I'm actually going to leave this because that could be a row of windows, and I'm going to show you how to do windows in just a minute. So go ahead, clean up the bottoms of your buildings. Go ahead and erase all those extra lines. And you can also now erase your, actually don't erase your vanishing point, leave it, because I'm going to show you how to do the windows, and you're going to need it to do the windows that are go up, the ones that go up and down. We're going to need that vanishing point, so don't erase that. Keep that on there, but try to just clean up the bottoms. And this is where you can get very creative with your ground. You can add roads and cars and trees and all kinds of things down here. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to draw the windows on a building. And I'm going to actually start with this building because this one's a little more complicated. So the lines that go long ways for windows, the lines that go up and down, you're just going to line up. You can be very precise with this if you would like. I'm going to show you how to be very precise. So this, I'm going to make a little mark right here. See, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So now I've evenly spaced out all of those lines right there. Okay, so then I'm going to take those marks. I'm sorry, my dog is barking. I apologize. I'm going to take those marks, and I'm going to draw those lines down to the vanishing point like this. I'm going to line this one up here and to the vanishing point. I'm going to draw this down this way. I'm going to keep drawing. These are the up and down. You don't have to have as many as I do. And you can also space it out just by sight if you would like to. You don't have to measure it. I used my ruler. I wanted it to be a little more precise. So I used my ruler for that, so that all of these are the same distance apart. I'm going to line this one up here and this one to the vanishing point, and this one's going to go down. So now I have all the windows that go this way, up and down. Those are the marks that they make. So now I'm going to make the marks that go across, and it has to be parallel. The across ones have to be parallel between the top of the building and the bottom. So as you can see, I've lined up my ruler. I'm going to slide my ruler down. I can make tall windows, and I'm going to go across here. Remember, this is just the front of my building. This line back here goes to this other side. I'm not going to mark through that one. Then I'm going to keep sliding my ruler down. You can do the same thing and measure to make sure that you have them the same length. I am going to eyeball it and just kind of do what I think is going to look the best. You can do it either way, it's your choice. I'm going to keep drawing these across here until I get to the bottom of the building. Now remember, we've talked about this in class, when things are further away, they appear closer. So as I go down my building, I put these lines a little bit closer, and I could even put a line in between here. I could even put one more set, so they kind of get closer together. Now you see how these windows go this way. You don't have to have this many, but I put a lot in to kind of show you how to do it. And because I spaced those out, I'm going to space this side out too. So I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to put a mark here, and a mark here, and here, and here. Mine are every 1/4 of an inch apart. So I'm going to take these lines now to the vanishing point. I'm going to show you how this L-shaped building comes together. This one's going to go down to this way. I'm going to slide my ruler over. Remember, touching the vanishing point here all the time. And I'm going to do this line. I'm going to slide it over again, still touching the vanishing point and drawing this line. And then my last row, still on the vanishing point, we're going to come down. Now, this side of the building, since it's an L shape, this side of the building has has lines going this way. So when I draw the cross lines, they have to be parallel with this side, not this side. This is how we do this. We line it up to this side of the building, and we slide it down until we touch that cross line here. And we're going to draw this in. Do you see how this works? Now you can see how the building comes together. I wanted to move it so you could see it. So that's just how we do it. Line it back up, and I'm going to slide it back down here. I'm going to keep my line straight. I moved my ruler. You might do that too. It's okay. Just kind of straighten it back up. Go back up and check yourself. Draw this line. Slide it down again. I'm going to draw this line. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep sliding it down. This one isn't going to go very far because, as you can see, it's starting to disappear behind the building in front of it. That's how you do an L-shaped building. And it's something that I like to do when I have an L-shaped building is I really like to emphasize this corner. So then I go back onto the vanishing point, I line this back up, and then I kind of widen it a little bit and darken it. So I make this a little bit bigger and darker because I want that corner to really pop. So now you can see the difference when I go back and add that. It really makes that corner stand out. You can really tell that this building is turning. So now we have windows on this side and this side. Now you can leave those blank, but I'm going to keep showing you how to do this. I'm going to guess that this side is not going to have a cross line. You can add a cross line. You could put a mark here and make it go down. You could leave it plain. I'll show you what it looks like with the mark just to show you that step, but you could also leave that off. So we could line this up. I could put a mark. Actually, I can just eyeball it. This is about the middle of that. So I'm going to line that up to the vanishing point, and I'm going to draw this line going down. Okay. So I'm going to put a row of windows here, and again, all the windows need to connect. It's like putting a puzzle together. These lines all need to connect. And we're just going to we're going to draw them this way because this is going to make them parallel. I'll show you a little trick here in just a second. That one's going to go behind here. This side of the building and this side of the building are parallel. This side and this side are parallel. I'm going to do the same little trick I did before and darken up that corner because I want my building to pop a little bit. I want to give it a little emphasis because it really does look better. I'm going to darken up that corner. So now you can see that building you can start to tell that this city building is an L shape, and the windows are now going to the vanishing point. They're in perspective. This, I'm going to show you how to do this side right here. And this one looks a little tricky. This line is just a sliver, but I'm going to line it up to this side right here. I'm lining up to this side of the building, this one right here. I'm lining it up here, I'm sliding down, and when I touch that line, I've touched that line going across. I'm going to stop and show you. See, I've touched this line. I slide it down till I touch it and draw that line. So I'm going to line it back up again and do it again. I've touched that one. I'm going to go do this one. I'm going to slide it down some more and touch that one. And I'm going to keep doing that till it kind of hides behind that other building. So we're just adding all the windows on this side, and it's just barely moving it down right here. And I accidentally came across this one, so I need to go and erase that little line. You might be able to see it, you might not. This one right here, I came across, so I'm going to go and erase because that is not right. I want to make sure I get that right. And I always tell you guys, make sure you use your ruler, and look, I did it, and you can tell. So again, I'm going to go back and make this corner pop. I really like to have that happen, as you can tell. So I'm going to go back and add that little bit, so now my corner kind of shows up. So that's how to do an L-shaped building. Now you're going to want variety in your windows. You don't want to have this kind of window everywhere. So you want to kind of look around and see some different patterns for your windows. I'm going to show you how to do this one, the circle building. So I'm going to draw lines. I'm going to kind of make a few marks here. I'm trying to divide this up a little bit to make it interesting. So I'm going to draw going down. I lined up this dot to the vanishing point. I just eyeballed that. I didn't even try to measure it. So you can do the same. And I'm going to do this going down. Remember, it's still touching the vanishing point. My ruler is still touching the vanishing point. Vanishing point is your friend. Actually, it's your best friend when we're doing perspective. And we're going to make this one come down right here. So I've got those. Now to do the windows, if it's curved, I line this up. I slide it down. And I slide it down again. And that gives my curved windows. And you can, I'll do a few more of these. What I want you to do is try to add different kinds of windows all over. So I did this one earlier and I left this down here. So now I'm going to go through, I'm not going to measure on this window. I'm just going to try to eyeball it and show you some different patterns that you can do in your windows if you would like. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to start right here and just do, let's see, I'm touching my vanishing point. There's the corner of the building. So I'm going to come down this way. Make sure you're on the vanishing point because you might move it off. Come down this way and keep it on the vanishing point, slide it over again. I'm going to try to fix it and see, here I am on the vanishing point and draw this one going down here. Okay, so I drew two here. So what I'd like to do on this building is kind of do I'm going to space them out. They're going to be bigger, but I'm going to do like a double window pane. So here I'm going to do this little thing at the top of the building here. I'm going to do a little mark here. That's going to be the top. I'm going to slide it down. I'm going to do across here. I'm going to go real close again because I want to make a little pattern. I'm going to slide it down pretty far. I'm going to go across here. This line's going to be closer because remember I'm doing that pattern. And let's check it. So I can do another big window and then another pattern down here. Because sometimes you need to look and see how much you have left. So I'm lining it back up to my last line. Make another pretty good size window here. And then do one close together to add that little. And then I'm going to come down here. This is where I added that extra line. So I'm going to line it back up. Make sure it's straight. Come back down to that line. And I'm going to come across here. And that's going to, whoops, look at how I got that crooked. Didn't line it up right, did I? So the bottom of my building is a little off there, so let me fix that. And you might find that too as you're adding some of these, you might realize that you got your lines a little off, and that's okay, you can fix them. Okay, so that gives you, and you can do something really creative where you could fill in these. You could make this a black, like we could make this a dark, you could fill this in a black band across the bottom if you wanted. You could fill that in. You can make this come on this side like this if I wanted to. You could do another kind of pattern where you just fill in part of these. And this can come later too. I mean, you can add all this later. But you can come on different kind of patterns. You don't want to add too much because you don't want to drag your hand through it and smear your paper. So you really want to wait on some of that. So now let's do this side. So we're going to line up our ruler with the top and we're going to slide it down and we're going to make that little thing that we just made here. A little double. And it's just, you can just barely see it because our perspective is from a different angle than the front. Okay, I'm lining it up to that last line, coming down. I'm gonna make this line right here. See, it touches. Do you see how it touches this line right here? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that little spot where it hits that line. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna go to the next one. And again, make that one. So this comes together. Now you can start to see how this building is gonna come together. I'm gonna do this one right here. And I'm just going to keep doing that all the way down. And there we go. I'm going to keep going, line it back up, go to here. I like to keep checking myself. You can do that too if you want to. And just making sure that I've got all my lines right, they're meeting, they've come together just the way I want them. So that's another pattern that you can do with this. You can also, sorry, there's like a glare on my paper from my lights. You can come up with whatever you want for this. I would not add a lot of shading right now. I would wait. You can also do like I did on this building. You can go back and add these corners, make these corners darker. Remember, you're lining them up to the vanishing point. I'm lining it up here. And I'm just adding that nice dark line to make that kind of show up a little bit better. I'm going to do it here again. I'm going to add this right here. Just adding those things right there. So you keep working on this. You keep adding all of your patterns. What I want you to do is make sure that you have the bottoms of your buildings and that you have your windows. I'm going to keep working on this too, and then I'll show you some more in a few minutes, but keep working on yours.